Hare Krishna, Jaya Jagannath. Welcome everybody to our Smile Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we're going to talk about the ultimate love and about that ultimate love and how it's part of our occupation, our dharma. Srila Prabhupada, we'll see, translates dharma as occupation. Pretty interesting, huh? Okay, let's get into it. So we'll start with our wonderful prayers to begin. I'm just going to give me 1 second here. I'm going to shut off I have a little fountain here that is very soothing, but sometimes it can catch in the mic and sound a little bit off. So we'll turn that off real quick. Okay, opening prayers. We'll light our flame. Om Krivyadam Agnim Prahonomi Duram Yamrajam Gachatu Brava. The Lord of Dharma. So we said we're going to talk about Dharma today. And when we light this flame, we are calling on Lord Yamaraj, the Lord of Dharma, the Lord of occupation. Interesting, huh? And we will start with our prayers to the spiritual master who give us the mercy, the grace to be able to understand, apply, and realize this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Gyantimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramitamina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master so kindly opened my darkened eyes with the salve of love. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Our prayer to the Supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, Son of Vyasadeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta Prayasha Abreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ujamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome and to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And of course, this Smile Srimad Bhagavatam, this discussion, talk, course, class, whatever we decide to put the title of, is always for the pleasure of the Lord and for the benefit of every Smile Sangha member, the benefit of the world, and especially for those who are meant to, for this Smile Sangha who we haven't found yet. Hare Krishna. Each day we're reading the boons of Srimad Bhagavatam, stated by Srila Sanatana Goswami, prayers of Bhagavatam. Just by coming in the proximity of Srimad Bhagavatam, we get so many boons. Interesting proximity. I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself. So interesting enough, we're going to talk about prema today. Prema And as we mentioned, Dharma, very interesting. We'll be doing Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 5. We're going to hear about the qualities of prema, our love, and the occupation, or the dharma of the soul. And let's get into it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I said 5, but we're actually doing text 6. Excuse me. Okay. Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service. We'll read the word for word. Saha, that. Vai, certainly. Pumsam, for mankind. Paraha, sublime. Dharmaha, occupation. Yataha, by which. Bhaktihi, devotional service. Adokshaje, unto the transcendence. Ahukti, causeless. Apratyahata, unbroken. Yaya, by which. Atma, the self. Suprasiddhati, completely satisfied. Very famous verse here. Savya pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir ajokshajaye ayatkut apratyatya ahutki apratihatya yatma suprasiddhati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. The supreme occupation dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Here are the qualities of dharma, occupation. Purport. In this statement, Srila Sut Goswami answers the question of the sages of Naimisharanya. The sages asked him to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that the fallen people or the people in general might easily take it up. The Vedas prescribe 2 different types of occupation for the human being. One is called pravritti marg, or the path of sense enjoyment, and the other called is navritti marg, or the path of renunciation. The path of enjoyment is inferior, and the path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. The material existence of the living being is the disease condition of actual life. Actual life is spiritual existence, or Brahma Bhuta existence, where life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Material existence is temporary, illusionary, and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just a futile attempt to get rid of the miseries, and temporary cessation of miseries is falsely called happiness. We talked about that just the other day, right? Therefore, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable, and illusory, is inferior. But devotional service to the Supreme, which leads one to eternal, blissful, and all congenient life, is called the superior quality of occupation. This is sometimes polluted when mixed with the inferior quality. For example, adoption of devotional service for material gains is certainly obstruction to the progressive path of renunciation. Renunciation, or abnegation for ultimate good, is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment and the disease condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. Therefore, devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality, i.e., without the least desire for material enjoyment. One should therefore accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of devotional service of the Lord, without any tinge of unnecessary desire, fruitive action, and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. lot here, right? Okay, so first of all, we have the example of those who are following the supreme occupation. It's the sages of Naimisharanya, and they're inquiring into the absolute truth. They're inquiring for themselves and for the whole world how to attain loving devotional service, bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga being the highest of all yogas, the supreme occupation is loving the Lord. Wow. Who knew that in one way it's so simple, right? So this loving devotional service is being impeded because we have been conditioned to try to enjoy through this material body. And this material body is not who we are. It's made of material energy. So it's like trying to enjoy through your car, your vehicle, you as a driver. You can maybe race it or, go over some really cool scenic drives. But the car is not actually the enjoyer. The car is just the vehicle. But if we're trying to make the car happy, it's ridiculous, right? So similarly, we're trying to make the body happy, and it's quite ridiculous. But because we've been trying to do it for so long and been working on it for so long, we start to identify that it is happiness. And so therefore, Srila Prabhupada mentions that actually that because this body is temporary, or here, we'll even highlight it right here. Where did he say this? It's temporary, illusory, and full of miseries. And he mentions earlier about disease. The disease is just right around the corner all the time. It's because this body is temporary, illusory, full of miseries, and that's not the quality of the soul where we actually can enjoy, where we actually can have love, where we actually have prema, where we actually have blissful existence. So we need to occupy ourselves with those things that are bringing us towards the ultimate truth, to devotional service. And so, what does that look like? Well, as we mentioned before, that anybody has an opportunity, no matter what their occupation. I can't remember if that was yesterday or the day before that we were talking about the doctor, the lawyer. Yes, because Srila Prabhupada was talking about politicians. And everybody has a chance to purify their occupation, their dharma, for the purpose of pleasing the Lord. The thing is that we have difficulty staying on track. We quite often go off the path, pravritti marg, the path of sense enjoyment, because we're so attached to the body, we get distracted and try to go on the wrong path. However, if we stay in connection with Srimad Bhagavatam, if we stay in connection with the Lord who is in our heart, who we've added to our heart, and we stay in contact with those who are also making this their goal of life, then we easily get put back onto the path of renunciation. And renunciation, quite often people misunderstand of getting rid of everything. However, renunciation, as explained by Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas, is not the getting rid of everything, it's getting rid of material existence. That's renunciation. So, I just spent quite a bit of time talking nasty about the body and about the vehicle, right? However, when we renounce the fact that the body is meant for sense enjoyment, our pleasure, disconnected from Krishna, when we give that up, the body actually becomes a great boon for us because it's the vehicle that we use for service and, you could say, traveling on the path of renunciation. So it becomes spiritual. And that's what our Dharma is about. It's about coming to the fact that everything is meant for the pleasure of Krishna. This body is a tool. Our phone is a tool. And ultimately, we want to be tools. We are tools too. So we want to be like the tools in the hand of Krishna. We have these phones, and I'm telling it to do this, and then call this person and stuff. And we want to be like phones in the hands of Krishna that, hey, I'm your tool. You tell me what to do. You instruct me. You inspire me. Let my will and your will be the same. And we become of another quality, which is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. So that's our occupation, our dharma, is to attain a loving service, which means to be just whatever Krishna wants. And then we get this wonderful explanation. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So unmotivated. Unmotivated actually is the quality of love. Love is just the desire of gratifying the other person's senses. However, the difficulty is that because we're on pravritti marg, the path of sense enjoyment, we actually think that love is gratifying other people's material bodies. And that may be, in some cases, how do I say this? That could be understandable when we see that person is a spirit soul. For instance, Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita is explaining his frustration or his lamentation of having to fight the war of battle on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Krishna says, you're lamenting for that which was not worthy of lamentation. And so he starts explaining the qualities of the soul, that the body is temporary, that the soul is eternal, that it can't be killed, that it can't be withered, that it is always existed, exists now, and exists in the future. So when we see from the perspective of the spirit soul that a person is a child of God, then the body that they have is simply it's seen in the right perspective. It's seen in the proper perspective. It's not taken as illusion, as Srila Prabhupada mentions here, illusionary. Our illusion is that they are the body, but we see them as a spirit soul, and they have a body. For instance, like you have a bird, it's in a cage, and this bird, if you're taking care of it and you're just cleaning the cage, you're putting diamonds on it, you're putting ribbons, you're decorating this cage so beautiful, and you never feed the bird and the bird dies, it's pretty silly. But if you are taking care of the bird nicely and cleaning its cage, then that makes sense, right? It's a whole package in the time, place, and circumstance. So we must understand that the spirit soul is behind the cage of the body. And that's what we're serving, that child of God. And so if we make our occupation for pleasing Krishna, and the best service for Krishna is to please his children. You may have heard me say before, I talk about, give me a cupcake. Thank you. Give me a cookie. Oh, I love cookies. But you give my children a cookie, man, you've endeared me for the rest of the life. You make my kids happy. That's just like, man, so much more happiness than that. And so Krishna is also in the same way wanting us to get along, to love each other, because we're his children. So love between each individual soul is natural when it's in the perspective of that each person is a part and parcel of the Supreme, and that ultimately what we're doing is cooperating for his pleasure. And that's occupation. That's our dharma. And if those people don't know, our dharma becomes an occupation, becomes that, and sharing it with others, trying to encourage people. Let's read this last paragraph. We have purposely denoted dharma. Oh, here we go. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of living beings, and he is the all-attractive living entity or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the internal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental and is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and the served is the most conjugal form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, first of all, he explains very nicely why he says occupation. So many of us are doing work for a purpose. Even if we're not conscious of it, we're doing it for a purpose. And usually it's for some security, some kind of our basic needs, right? But our occupation is our sustained existence of the spirit soul is to be connected with Krishna. And so this is the ultimate dharma, or love, occupation that leads to devotional service. And so we want to do this unmotivated. I was explaining being unmotivated, meaning that it's only for the pleasure of the other, and we're not taking into account our enjoyment is like not even preview. It's like, I will suffer to make sure that person's happy. Not, what's it called, sadistic, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make myself suffer. But it's just like the mom who's taking care of their child is going through so much troubles. But because they love their child, it's no thing. They just keep, moving forward. And so we want to get to this point, that our occupational duty, that our path of Nivritti Marg, the path of renunciation and the path of occupation of loving devotional service, is unmotivated and uninterrupted, meaning that it becomes just like breathing. It becomes just an innate part of our existence. I hope innate's the right word. I hope that you so it just it's you don't think about it. It's just like breathing, like uninterrupted. I'm always doing it. It's part of me, who I am. It is my existence. It is my life air. We say that about Srimad Bhagavatam in one of our boons, right? You're the life air. And so our life air becomes this occupational or dharma of service. to the Supreme Person. And so in SMYHL, we understand that it can be difficult to stay motivated to devotional service or to our supreme occupation. And we can understand that it becomes interrupted. And so we create so many different pathways and tools and frameworks and encouragement to help us all to stay on the path. As Srila Prabhupada mentions, it doesn't matter where you are at. He's saying this in the last paragraph. You don't have to wait, even in the present conditional state of material existence. No matter how much you become distracted or non-distracted or this or that, this is here for you. So we encourage people to come to Srimad Bhagavatam, to listen about the holy name, to take benefit from the Agni Hotras that are performed each day, each month, the Sankranti, that are giving us the movement, giving us the inertia, the propelling towards Krishna. And so please, this is an encouragement to you to stay connected, get more connected, and encourage others, right? We get so much happiness because of the Lord's happiness of sharing Him with others. In addition, because we are in this world and do have occupations, the necessity for sustaining our existence, we have that existence always connected to the Lord, and at the same time, I should say, we have our work that we have to do. And so if you're interested, if you're encouraged to, you can get in contact with us and we have education to help bring you more towards your Sanatan Dharma work in this life. Some people are going crazy because their occupation is not their nature. They've done it. They've gone towards occupations that just sustain their material existence. And we're not saying that's bad. We're just saying that we know that that's not enough. And so if somebody is doing that, plus using their natural gifts that Krishna has given them for serving Him and His children, then we become much enlivened. So if you're interested in that, please contact us. That's one of our great educations, or one of the great things that we like to do is help people to start ventures or hobbies or charities in something that excites them a lot, because that excitement is Krishna in your heart saying, yeah, that's the flavor that I want to taste from you, is this excitement, this hobby. So how can you do that? You can go on our SMYHL.com and you can ask right here. You can join our WhatsApp, and in our WhatsApp you can have so many contacts of people who are our leaders in SMYHL Sanga, our servants in SMYHL Sanga. You can always hit up one of them, me or others. You can even message this right here and ask. And because I'm saying this right now, I just realized that we should have a button for just general inquiries, right? Good. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I wish you all. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't show you the SMYHL Sanga website. You guys know my point was you can you can get on the WhatsApp group right here, and you can ask right now. You can ask a Brahmana. You can message that if you're interested in hearing about how to move towards your occupation that you're doing in this material world that becomes spiritual and pleasurable to the Lord. You can message us there. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Thank you all so very much. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much.